All right. So we're going to do some live stuff. We're going to do some Q&A stuff. I hope everybody's good tonight, first off. It's good to see you. I know I haven't done one of these live streams in quite a long time. Forgive me, I'm still getting my windows and everything set up. Hey, everybody, let me know if you can hear me well. Why is that not working? I can't see. Why is that not working? Okay, you know what? Let's just go there. And we'll go there. There we go. That's much better. Oh, you know what? Do I have my mic? No, it's good. All right, good. You can hear me good. This is a brand new laptop, so this is the first time I've done a live stream like this on it. Hey, Michigan Wild Boys, nice to see you. North Florida, man, what's up? JP, what's going down? Jeremy Penley. Tackle Assist, what's up? DG Trees 2005, what is going on, my brother? Hey, thanks for jumping in and talking to me tonight. This is really just about you guys. Clint, what's going on? I'm really Southern Michigan. I'm really just here to answer questions, hang out with you guys. I haven't got to see it in a while, or really talk to you guys in a while. You know, let you in on some things. What is up, Chris King? Best name in the world right there. I'd almost trade with you. You know, Hank Rogers, I don't know. Sometimes it's weird, you know, Hank Rogers. Anyway, so really I'm just here to answer questions. You know, I know you, hopefully most of you have seen the giveaway. Most of you have seen what's up, one kayak, one fish. Hopefully you guys have seen a lot of what I've been doing this summer. The next couple of videos may be really just how-to videos. I will give you a little bit of update on that, because starting tomorrow, I'm going to be attempting to recarpet and reseat my boat. Yes, Goose Heron, what's up? Alex, what's going on, man? Randy, what's up? Bearded Outdoors, brother, nice to see you. I don't have the luscious beard you have, but you know, I got a beard. John, what's going on? War Eagle Bassin, what's going on, man? Steve, I hope things are going good for you, brother. But anyway, so you know, like I said, I'm just here to really answer questions for you guys, you know, talk to you a little bit about what's going on. I know a lot of you, hopefully most of you, have seen a lot of what my fishing has consisted of this year. Not a lot of giants, which is really unusual for the deep bite. Most of the time, your deep summer bite, that's where your big girls are going to be at. For some reason this year, on my little top secret P lake, it's been just kind of cookie cutter 2-3 pounders. You know, every once in a while I've pulled out a 3 and a 4, or I mean, you know, you'll pull out a 3 or a little over 3. North Florida, underspins come through the grass well here in North Florida. Got a chance to use it before the hurricane. That's pretty cool, man. Me and you were talking about that before. I didn't know how well it'd come through the grass. Not a lot of grass up here. What's going on, Mr. Langford? On tackle, you did not. Well, you know, I mean, I can't give you all my tackle, so I'm sorry. Watauga Basser, what's going on? Thank you for my video, for loving my videos. I am really, you know, and I'll be straight up honest with you guys. You know, the video that I put out this past week, it's full of information. Uh, uh, that whole video series, I'm trying to really keep it simple because I know there's a lot of people who don't fish a jig a lot and who get frustrated with a jig a lot. And a jig really, I know you guys see me fish a swim bait all the time, but I've actually tried to put the jig down the past couple of years because, I mean, I promise you, there's one on my boat 90% of the time, 100% of the time. That's when it gets tough. I'm generally picking a jig up. That's what I'm doing. What's going on, Anthony? Don't subscribe, please. You know, I just said that out loud. All right. You know, but that's his username. Please subscribe to me. That's a crazy username. I want to know the story on why you came up with that username. I'm just going to call you DSP. How's that? You do it just to trick guys into me by saying your name so nobody will subscribe to me. That's a good one. I'll give you credit. How do I enter the giveaways? All right, so the giveaways, what you need to do is you need to go back and watch not the last video, not the jig trailer video. You need to watch, and all the instructions are in the deep structure bass fishing, when to change spots. Hold on one second, and I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll actually put a link to that video in here for you guys that have not. You do need to subscribe. You need to be a subscriber. I mean, it is a subscriber giveaway. So generally that means, you know, it's for subscribers. I'm sorry. To me, not just anybody. I mean, you do kind of, I'm giving it away. Do have to kind of subscribe to me. And bear with me here, guys. I can't see anything you're saying because I'm obviously not smart enough to open up a second window. And you know how it is. Let's see here. All right, I'm back. All right, guys, here's the video. You need to go out. It'll tell you everything. It'll tell you anything that is, it shows all the prizes. It's super long, and I apologize. The first part is a little bit inspirational. I'm giving the actual announcement day will be Tuesday, the 19th of this month. So Tuesday, the deadline entry will be midnight the 18th. So I'll actually pick the winner that night, and then the next day I'll go ahead and edit up. So Monday I'll at midnight I'll pick the winner. Excuse me, and I'll edit up everything and release the video. Hopefully, generally I've been trying to release the video about 5 p.m. Eastern time on Tuesdays. The giveaway video itself was a couple days late, but there were so many companies involved. I had to kind of get everything pegged down. So so that's kind of what I was doing. John, what's going on? Thank you very much. I am a man. I don't know if I am the man. I'm just me. If I missed anything, guys, while I was moving around there, make sure you shoot your question back out here. First question by Alex. Let's say you have a bait caster, but you can only get 3. Which ones would you get? All right, guys, so this is a big deal to me, and me and a man that I have a lot of respect for kind of got into a little bit of a tiff over this, but on one of his videos. But I have a ton of respect for him. I'm not going to say who it is, and we're hopefully good friends. And one day I really hope to bring him up, and especially during the summer, and take him out on my boat and go fishing. So man, I'm really tempted on you all to tell you all to go to his channel and say, go fishing next summer with Bass Geek. But I'm not going to do it. That might be mean, and he might take it wrong. But I would love to get him out on my boat during the summer so that, you know, he could experience some realistic fishing with me. So anyway, all that being said, guys, listen, you know, always buy what you can afford, first off. Okay. I'm not going to tell you for a second in the world that if, you know, you need to buy the high gear. In my experience, in my years of, buying rods and reels, and this is why I started this channel, because I want to save you guys the time and the money of going out and buying all this gear just to go, man, I got a lot of gear that I hate or that don't work real well, or wasting money on this. And this is something that maybe I haven't done enough for you guys. But, you know, to me, the best price point is about $100 for a reel. And what I mean by that is from 0 to 100, your price, your quality per dollar increases, it quadruples, maybe even increases tenfold. So if you take a $30 baitcaster reel and compare it to a $100 baitcaster reel, now I know there's some $100 baitcaster reels out there that are junk. I know there's a limit in everything, but the quality gets so much better. And I've got a whole box of old, baitcasters that are, that I've wore out very quickly, that are under $100. $100 seems to be that sweet spot. Now, once you go above $100, I bought 4 Type R's last year. That's $200 a piece, and I didn't pay that for them. I will tell you, they're brand new, but I didn't pay $200 a piece for them. I luckily had a friend. But that being said, that's a $200 reel, and I'll be absolutely honest with you, I can't tell that much difference in some of my $100 reels. So the quality increase on a bait caster, it gets very low. It may be an eighth to a quarter from a 100 to a 200, and I've even got a couple 250s that honestly aren't as good as some of my $100 reels. So my opinion, and if I had to pick 3, I'd probably go. I'm telling you, I've been so impressed with the Lew's stuff. And I mean, you can get a lot of the LFSs on sale. I'm probably going to become predominantly a Lew's guys. Now I've got some Daiwas. Their Tatulas are good. But I'll be honest with you, I would go with the $100 range version of those. That's 2 and 3 that I've used, and you guys may know some better ones. A great reel that goes on sale every year, and I don't know if it goes on sale this cheap where you are. It goes on sale for about $89 one year, and then a lot of times the year after, so every other year, Bass Pro Shops will put their pro qualifiers on sale for $50. Now that's basically buy one, get one free. And so about every 2 years, I'll wait until they put theirs on sale, and I'll go buy 2, 3, 4 of them. I mean, because you're getting $100, what generally retails for about $100, you're getting it for for $50. Now I will say, if I had to pick best quality, I'll put my Lew's reels, my LFSs, casting distance, freeness of the spool. Here's the big key when you go from a $0 reel up to a $100 reel. It's all about your spool, your brake, and your drag. There's where a cheaper reel will generally cost you fish. And the reason I say $200 combo, $100 rod, $100 reel, the reason I always say that's your sweet spot is because I've got a combo. I've got several combos that I've had for, 10, 12, 15. I got one that you've seen Chris in the video where it's just teaching a friend how to fish deep, and he's just sitting there stroking them. That's an 18-year-old combo. I mean, so it may be older than some of you guys, and it casts like a dream. I'm sorry. Anyway, but you got to get what you can afford. I'm not telling you have to have this. I'm telling you, in the long run, I think it will save you money in the long run because the durability is higher. Do you use a floating fly in the winter? No. I have. It is a very good presentation, and especially where I live. But I would much rather throw. Oh Lord, it's winter time, so I'll block this out of my mind. I would rather Demiki. But if they're on a floating fly, which means they're on steep banks, and I need to parallel it, I'm going to tight line. Look up 3B Outdoors. That guy is the tight line master. Let's see. Lose for the money. You are Goose. You're absolutely right. Yep, lose. Let's see. Let me rephrase my question. What type of deep water finesse techniques do you use besides a drop shot? To be honest with you, I don't use a drop shot a whole lot. I hate the drop shot. I despise it. I don't really use it. I mean, I'll use a drop shot. If I go finesse, I mean, I guess you could consider Demiki finesse and tightline finesse, but that's during the wintertime. When it comes to deep water, I just believe you're either going to get a reaction bite or they're feeding on shad, and that's it. Even when I throw a jig out there, generally, if I'm throwing a jig out there, hits around a bunch of rock, or I'm stroking it off the bottom, so I'm getting that reaction bait. You can throw. I have thrown shaky heads, but I'll throw a big shaky head. Now that's about as finesse as I get when it comes to deep water fishing. The reason I like deep water fishing so much is because I don't have to fish light line and egg beaters, and I got nothing against them. I mean, I used to be completely finesse, but I kind of had a brain reset years ago. And I'll tell everybody this right now. Now, I'm a clear water sort of specialist, but I'm going to tell you right now, I want you to think about this. I want you to really, really think about this. Those fish that are sitting out there that I'm fishing in this 14, 15 or more clear water, how many little rink-a-dink worms do you think they've seen go by their heads during the summer? How many? How many swim baits? How many underspins? I mean, most guys see that clear water and the bite's tough and they panic. So what do? What have they been taught? They're taught to go small, downsize. Sometimes you just speed up and get bigger and you get a reaction bite. Sometimes you need to go the opposite way. And that's kind of what I've found. This year has not been the big bite that I wanted. But I mean, I'm fishing, for some schools, again, 15-foot clear water, some places 20. And I'm fishing in areas that are 20 to 30. And some of the schools are even setting over, 40, 50 foot of water. So, that's sometimes, man, speed up. All right, I throw a popper lure a lot on my spinning rod. That's where I throw my poppers on, with 10-pound mono for smallies. Here in Michigan, how do I keep the line from getting wind knots? Whew, in Michigan with all that wind on those lakes, I don't know. One of the things that I do when it comes to spinning rods in heavy wind is, I try to make, which I cast hard anyway. And that's why I'm so hard on rods. I probably break more rods than anybody you'll ever meet. And it's simply because, I mean, when I cast, when you guys hear that, when I'm casting and you hear that, whew, that's not me adding sound effects in. That's me casting. When most time when people get in the boat with me for the first time, they're like, geez almighty, you don't have to cast that hard. I mean, I don't know that I'm doing it. It's just how I've done it forever. And for me, it's like I coached football for years and years, and it's the same thing with throwing a pass in the wind. Low and tight. You don't want it lobbing. You want to, I mean, just direct that thing in there, get it nice and low, nice hard cast, and get it out there. Don't let the wind get under it so it's not looping up. And use your finger. Pay attention to your line, and always make sure you're using your finger to stop that bait, but keep it low to the water. The more wind, the lower you want to keep it. And if you're trying to get it a distance out there, keep it low. That's where I would start. That's how I combat the wind a lot of times. Let's see. If I've missed your question, tell me. What's up, Albert? God bless you. Thanks for stopping in. Chris. You know what? I have not broke a halo yet. I have not broke a halo. I'm going to do some more rod and reel reviews. I know you guys like that. And as you can tell, if you've seen my Veritas review, I'm honest about it. As a matter of fact, I just turned down today a reel company that wanted me to do a video for them. I'm just not going to do, if they're afraid that I'll tell the truth about what I think, don't come knocking on my door. I don't have a rod and reel company that I'm so in love with that I'm going to join up with. If I find them, I mean, I'll join their pro staff. If I find a rod company, why would you not? Why would you not? But I haven't found a company that I can just go, man, these are the rods for me. But I have not broke a halo. Oh, that's all right, bass fishing with TK Evan. Man, hey, I'm just glad you stopped by. I'm glad everybody's stopping by. So you guys got any deep water? I know we're coming up on fall right now, and everybody's excited about the fall weather. But, any questions about Sonar, deep water, clear water that you want to ask? ZX tournament combo. I've not tried any of the Capella stuff. Never gave. I've heard some pretty decent things about their stuff, and I've actually heard some pretty decent things about the what is it, the H2O stuff that I just went brain dead. The sporting good, big sporting goods stores. Gosh, I keep wanting to say Dick's. It's not Dick's. I cannot believe I don't remember the name of that place. Anyway, but I've heard good stuff about them. Some of their stuff. Sick combo made by Daiwa Academy. Thank you, Chris, in Kansas. Hey, are you a football fan, Chris, in Kansas? Because all I got to say is, Academy Sports is go Chiefs. Yes, I love that they beat the pants off of the Patriots. I'm sorry if there's any Patriots fans in here. First off, let me pre-rec that. But I like Kansas City. I've been a semi-Kansas City fan for a long time. Is a jig and a 6XD. Well, see, I don't even think a 6XD is deep. A 6XD does produce, but most of the time I fish water that's so deep. I mean, you can't really fish a crankbait there unless you're long lining. North Florida brother, it's good to see you. Hey, make sure you enter in the giveaway and don't work too hard. Thunder Cooper Smith. I'm trying patterning fish. All my questions. Hey, throw them at me. That's what I'm here for. Now, I will tell you, now, not all. You got to remember, guys, some lakes are pattern lakes and some lakes are spot lakes. My buddy Tim, I get real obsessed on trying to find patterns too. And my buddy Tim taught me real quick that most of the lakes that are around us, they're spot lakes. The small lake that I fished during the summer, I mean, that's an apparent spot lake. I mean, and I don't mean spotted bass. I mean, this is a good spot. This is a good spot. That's it. I figured you did, Chris. But that's just kind of the way it is. I'd love to come down and fish Sam Rayburn, by the way. I've heard a lot of people have trouble, but on Conroe and which they're all lakes I'd like to come fish. Those $15 8 and 10 XDs. Yeah, it's I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm checking my line after about every other cast when I'm throwing them. But I don't. During the summer, there's very few lakes around here that I will fish a crankbait on. Cherokee Reservoir is one, and it's probably just early summer. Yeah, Texas is bass crazy. Yeah, I'd love to try that place. The H2O Express rods are extremely reliable. Hey, let me run something by you guys. Tell me if you think I'm crazy or if you think I should do it. Now, don't tell me you think I should do it just because you want to see me get a bunch of people that just hate me and threaten to hunt me down. I thought about later this year, and I want to buy the rods that actually have their names on it. Now, I don't listen. I much respect to these guys, but they have done a lot to get people out and get them fishing, and I respect the heck out of that. I have nothing bad to say about them. But what do you think about me maybe buying like a AP rod, using it for a few weeks, and then doing an actual for-real review on it, what I actually think about it. Then, whichever one that, Lake Fork guy, or then, whichever one Rob pushes. I've been thinking about maybe doing that, just to see what I really think. So anyway, yeah, Alex, I knew you'd love that. Let me make sure. Slot limit. There's a slot limit on Little Lake P that I fish all the time. Yeah, I know what you mean. I fish clear shallow water, and I don't know what to throw out there. There are fish everywhere. I spotted 10 and 12 last time I went fishing and couldn't catch anything but a half pounder. Okay, so that means, so first off, let me ask you a question. You say you fish clear shallow water. I'm going to guess you're probably up north somewhere, and I'm going to also guess there's probably some grass in your lakes. So don't subscribe to me, please. And again, that's his username. Please subscribe to Bass Geek. So give me just a little more info, and I think I can help you out some. Need to try the Express crankbaits. I've got a buddy that told me that they have that their crankbaits are actually really good, and I like the VMC hooks, so that's pretty awesome. I'll say it out loud. Well, I haven't tried them, so we'll see. I've got a Screet Reese Wright McGill. That's amazing. Bought it at Walmart and it hasn't failed me yet. That's cool. Listen, I'm a big Skeet Reese fan, so I don't know. I have not used those. I have not ever used a Wright McGill rod. but I'd like to give them a try. Oh, San Diego. Huh, that's why I was way off then. I apologize. Uh, Grass everywhere. Okay. Um, first off, in Clearwater, I think most of the time bass are, especially when they're up shallow where you can see them and they're roaming, they can be super hard to catch. So if you see them, I'm going to tell you right now, you're not 90% of the time you're not going to catch them. You long casts, you know, if the grass is sparse, you can get away with a swim bait with an underspin, a spinner bait, even, throw a spinner bait with willow leaf blades. You're going to want a little overcast or a little chop on the water, a little bit of wind for that. You know, a chatterbait is great in grass. A swim bait is also great in grass, and you can rig it a few different ways. You can actually peg a bullet weight on the nose of it, just a small one to kind of give it a little point so it comes through the grass a little better. You don't need a lot of weight. Use a belly weight hook. So like if you're using a bigger swim bait, an owner beast, or just whatever you can find to fit, and it'll come through grass real well too. So I am not, and that's something that I was actually going to tell everybody tonight, John. I'm not going to fish the BFL Super Tournament on Watts Bar for this season. The Limit Series is over, and so you guys are going to get a sneak peek. I am going to release a short video talking about it. I love fishing the BFLs, but for me, for a co-angler, I had a rough year. I caught as many fish as I did last year, but I caught them in the wrong lake, so I didn't manage to finish as high, and so I didn't get as many points. So I'm not going to qualify for the regional. I'm not going to qualify, even if I go fish that tournament. I'm not going to qualify for the regional, which is my ultimate goal, and that's a $230 entry fee. That basically, yeah, I could go down there and possibly win, but as a co-angler, it's really a gamble because it really depends on the guy you pick up. And I could go down there and hit the lottery and win that tournament, walk away with several $1,000s. But for me, I just took that money that I would have spent, stayed a couple of extra days in Hilton Head. So it sucks. I really wanted to make the regionals this year. I was really excited about it. But yeah, the Limit Series for this season 1 of the Limit Series ended with a big fat fail. So still up in the air, a lot of things, everything from fishing the opens to not fishing at all, or not fishing tournaments at all, which even if I don't, I'll fish a tournament here and there. It's all kind of up in the air right now. I've got a lot of work to my boat because, the ultimate goal is getting my boat ready so that I can fish tournaments out of it. I've got to get brakes on my trailer. Right now, there's no brakes on my boat trailer whatsoever. And, going down the interstate doing 80 and 90, I don't know how y'all drive the interstate, but that's how I drive it. Generally is dangerous when you're hauling a boat that has no trailer brakes on it, a tournament size bass boat. So that's got to get fixed. There's just a lot of things that I can take that money and prep for. I've spent 2 years on the BFL. My goal was to spend 2 to 3. I fished with some great guys. I've learned some great things, but at this point, I just feel like I can compete with the guys that I've fished with. Especially year 2, I just feel like I can compete with those guys. So why fish from the back of the boat when I can fish the way I want and maybe cash a check a little more often than what I'm doing right now. I've not tried any of the Dobbins rods. That's a rod that I want to try, is some of the Dobbins stuff. Oh gosh, I met a guy earlier this year. Anyway, I forgot the other name of the rods, but there's a couple of rod companies out there. I've got a I've got a rod ordered from Killer Bass Baits, and Killer Bass Baits rods actually have lifetime warranties on them. So I've got one ordered from him. I can't wait for it to come in because I don't think I showed you this in the video, but my last Veritas reel or rod broke. So my last Abu Garcia Veritas rod bit the dust the other day, and I will tell you this right now: I will not ever buy another Veritas rod. They're super soft and they're super light, but I think there's a reason why they're super soft. Like you cast a mile with them, but about 2 years of me casting them, and that's about all they could stand. So every single one of them, I bought them 2 years ago, and every single one of them made it about, well, every single one made it about a year and a half. Most of them didn't make it that long. Could you do a review of one of those rods? Albert, what rod? I'm sorry, I missed which one. The Cast King 2-piece rods. Comes with 2 different tips. That's wild. I have not seen that. Actually, the number 8 blackouts are great for the money. There's another rod company that I'd like to check out, and that's number 8. They're a very interesting company. I can't remember what company that is. They've got kind of the gold-looking kind of mesh handles that they put on them. Cashin? Yeah, that's it. I'd like to try some of them out. I've tried a few of the Dobbins, or I've not tried the Dobbins. I'm sorry. I thought Duckett. There we are. Don't try the Duckett's model. Weak, yeah. I will tell you this right now. You know, even like from medium heavy, from company to company to company, even from you know, different make in the rods in the same company, a medium heavy can act 2 or 3 different ways. And you know, I've actually, because they do, and keep your eyes out on this, guys, 6 Gill does a lot of buy one get one giveaway, or buy one get one deals on their rods. Now their rods lean a little more to the stiffer side of things, but I've found the more I use them, the more flex I get out of them, and a little more casting distance. But at first I was like, golly, this rod's stiff. But so far the good thing about them is and again, I'll say I'm rough on my rods. They are holding up well. So, you know, I mean, so far I'm happy with them. The Halos, which someone mentioned earlier, they're sort of in that middle between that Veritas medium heavy, and same with their mediums and whatever. But they're, you know, the Veritas, in my opinion, is a little on the soft side. The Halos seem to be right in the middle. Halos stick those, and I will say this about Halo: I haven't had any problems with their micro guides. With the ceramics, I've had 0 problem with the micro guides ceramics coming out on their rods, so that's a good thing. Well, I'm not going to say it's one of the best, but you know, and that's another thing. You know, as a co-angler, the Limit Series, I'm limited. Now, like I said, and I'm going to tell you guys this, and I don't want to get your hopes up. I don't know yet. I haven't really decided yet. But, you know, I do have somebody who has offered me to link with them for the Open Series, the BASS Open Series. It's a little last minute. I don't know if I can swing the time off for work. I'd love to fish it as a co-angler with him. I don't know that I'm going to get to. There's a lot of other things. What I want to do is eventually be fishing out of my boat, making my decisions to see how really, where do I stack up. Now, I don't ever plan on, guys, I'm old, and making a run at being a pro, I just don't think is in the cards for me. Uh, but I'm also competitive. And, I'm in the process right now of trying to drop some weight and get my big rear end back in shape. So we'll see how we feel. But I need to put some money into my boat, and the BFLs are something that I've wanted to fish competitively for a long time out of the front of my boat, and I think I can be competitive with them. Um, so that's the end goal, and so what I have to do is fish that, or position myself to be able to fish out of my boat, and the limit series is going to be much better, because as a co-angler, I hate to ask the angler if I can film in his boat. I say it, most of you guys that have been with me before, I don't ask them, I don't even ask them to film in their boat while we're fishing. And the reason why is because that puts that angler in a bad spot. He's out there, he's worked hard, he's found those spots. He doesn't want anybody to see what he's doing, how he's doing it. A lot of guys in bass fishing, tournament fishing, man, they're secretive about that stuff. And if I ask him, that puts him in a spot. He's going to think one of two things. He's going to say, oh, well, if I say no to this cat, he's going to slam me and tell everybody how much of a douchebag I was for not letting him film. Or, I don't want, and then he's going to say, well, I don't want everybody seeing my spots. So I think it kind of forces them into saying yes, and I just don't feel comfortable doing that. But I'll promise you, when I fish a tournament out of my boat, my co-angler better like being on camera, because there's going to be so many cameras around that boat. Because I decided to do YouTube. I decided to share all this stuff with you guys, So I try not to hide, guys. There's nothing that I do that I don't tell you about. I don't keep spots hidden from you. If you can figure out where I'm at, go fish it. I showed you how. Yeah. I'm doing this because I want to teach you, and I didn't have anybody to teach me this stuff. I was hoping to see you there. I'm sorry, John. I'm sorry. Yeah, Bass Bullies is going to be there. He's going to fish out of his boat. He started out the season as a co-angler. He had a real hard time, and that's all he fishes. He fishes Watts Bar all the time. So I think Cody will have a good shot at maybe pulling a check out of that. You're fine. Don't subscribe. You're fine, man. I find it funny, man. It's pretty cool, actually. Let me see here. I might have missed a question. Bass fishing with TK Even. Those schooling fish you've been fishing, why do you think they're still there with all weather? With all weather. Okay. Now, they do move around, but it's all about current, okay, and bait. So when I say schooling fish, guys, when you hear me talk about this on the video, I'm not talking about breakers, okay? I'm talking about a school that's deep, that's ganged up. And if you go back and watch some of those videos, you'll see. And one of the best images that I can show you is that one stump. You go around this spot, and people see me fishing it on this particular lake, and I know there's my wife. Hey, babe. I know people think I'm crazy because I've got my boat back against this creek channel swing, and I'm casting dead out in the middle of the lake. And I know people are just like, this guy has no clue. He's an effing idiot. But at the same time, I love it when they go by and I'm sitting there catching fish in front of them, because then they're like, oh. But anyway, it's all about current. So in those spots, the reason that they're there, I took my daughter's boyfriend out fishing with me, and he pointed this out. Yeah, he pointed this out to me. he pointed out all this visual cover, man, these lay downs. I mean, this lake is covered in lay downs, and you just think, oh my gosh, you know, it's just they're up here in these lay downs, they're up here in these lay downs. The water is clear. So the one thing about fishing water that's clear, guys, that you have to get out of your head, okay? Yes, you're going to catch fish shallow in shallow cover in clear water. But you want to know where the big fish are? If it's 15 foot clear, they're 20 foot deep. They are at that line or 10 foot deeper most of the time. Don't waste your time doing anything else. Figure out where that cutoff line is and go 5 foot deeper and start there. Now, Adam Taylor, what is up, brother? Now, that being said, if you just start fishing there, you're going to run into fish somewhere. So, because big bass aren't going to hide in plain sight. You know, they're not sunning, they're not getting a tan. They're going to get down there. They don't have eyelids. They're going to get down. They're going to get away from that. They're going to hide. You know, fat fish are like fat people. And I can talk about fat people because I'm fat. All right. Y'all seen the videos. You know this. So, you know, we're going to look for an easy meal, an easy big meal. You know, and that's what we do. We're gonna wait. We're gonna stalk that steak, and then we're gonna eat the hell out of it. As soon as the waitress puts it on the table, and that's what they're waiting for. They're waiting for it to get served up, right, just out of sight. You know, so those schools, the reason they're there, and this is the great thing, guys, go out, get your electronics, because during the summer, even in deep is relative. If you're fishing a lake that's 2 foot deep everywhere, and for some reason there's a weed edge that's 2.5 feet, man, they're going to be there. Does the wind always blow into that? 90% of the time, you know, those fish are set up, and that one sonar that I show all the time about the stump. I can't tell you how many trees there are around that creek channel bend, but there's one stump on the edge of that creek channel, one stump, and I've gone across it and seen 30 fish stacked up on it. And the reason they're sitting there is because everybody sees. It's the same way I was telling you about that little worm. When going gets tough, how many drop shots, how many shaky heads, how many finesse worms do you think these people have seen? How many do you think they've seen? Now, how many times have people gone down that bank right behind me and fished that lay down, or all those lay downs? That it puts pressure on those fish, and those fish want to get away from it. What's up, T.N. Basson? Those fish want to get away from it. So fishing pressure will push them out deep. Water clarity will push them out deep. And then current. So most of those people are going to go down that channel bend and they're going to fish it. If this is the water, they're going to fish it like this. Well, that current is running directly into it. Most of your bass are going to turn this direction and feed out this way. And that's what they do on that stump. They turn toward the current, and as everything comes toward them, they just let it, as I said, they let that waitress shove that steak right down their face hole. So, you know, current is king. Even if you think there's not current there, think about there's current, whether it's caused by wind, whether it's caused by boat, or in this small lake that I fish, you know, during the summer, Lake P, it's just natural current. You can't even tell. It looks dead calm, but they don't use it to generate. The water comes in the creek, it goes out the dam. I'm always fishing upstream. So they're always there because the food is, always there. And that stump on the side of that creek channel is a highway. So if you're not in a natural lake, there's always going to be a creek channel. And the creek channels are the highways. Follow them, because that's where you'll run into them during the summertime. What's going on, Wind Fishing Girl? Angler. Yeah, you know, I'm kind of weird about that stuff, but yeah, that's the big deal. There's even a spot, and I was telling War Eagle Bass this the other day, and here's something. This is for you guys, everybody that's joined me tonight. I'm going to give you a little secret. So there's one spot here. I'm going to draw this for you. Hold on. You know, I'm not an artist, and I hope you can see this. Okay, let me see if you can see this. Okay, so here, I'm going to draw this for you. So the current is coming down this direction, and it hits here and goes out here. Let me draw that. So it hits here. So I found a school last year. So the current comes down, it goes around the bend, but right here is this little pocket. And there's a big, long point that comes out right here. And what I find really funny about this is this actually creates an eddy. Now you can't see an eddy. It ain't like an eddy in a you know, a stream. There's not that kind of, but the fish will sit right there. No, sorry, wrong one. Right there. Right there and feed out. So we have to go up inside this pocket and cast this direction. Now think about that. That's how much, and there's very little current in this lake. Now but that's what you got to pay attention to. They're right in that creek channel, right in the creek channel. I mean, you could cast standing on the bank all the way across to the other side, but and cast 10 feet up the other bank and be in the trees, but they're sitting in that creek channel pointing out, because that just a little bit of that water circles around and it pushes shad and stuff like that up in there, and they sit right at the mouth and they wait for that to come, and they sit there and they feed it. So, you know, so it's like I said, current is big. Even the tiniest bit of current you got to think about. But you know, but they'll sit right out in the channel in 25 foot of water and just stack up. I hate that I didn't get any video of that. I wanted to show you guys video of that so bad. But I mean, that school was huge. Yeah, boat current is one of the most underrated things. Everybody complains, and listen, I know there's a bunch of numbskulls out there. Don't get me wrong. You know, I about gotten to it with these two morons out on my little lake the other day. But you know, it's unbelievable. Never cast into the trees. Listen, that is bearded bass outdoors. Sometimes, you know, you get some natural scent out of the trees and you drop it down, just kind of dip it a couple times, top water. It worked. No, don't ever do that. But but yeah, you know, boat current, it's current. I mean, if you're on a point and those waves are hitting that point, man, they'll stack up there. Bass learn those spots. And I'll definitely watch too, TK, by the way. BA, what's going on, Bobby? Low end, what is going on? Okay, the best way to tell, and I'm actually going to do this, I wanted to do it this year. It's map study. And let's say you don't have a map. Get a heavy bait. You know, guys, the one most important thing I can tell you about learning to catch bass in the summer, put your rods down. Put them down. Put them down and just go looking for them. If you've got a sonar. Now, his question, if you don't have a sonar, map study. you know, my sonars don't tell me how the currents flow. Just like that eddy that comes in there, that my sonars didn't tell me about that current and about how to position to catch those fish. Think about it that way. Look at the current, put yourself in that position during the summer. Always think about how deep the fish are going to be, how deep they're going to go. And you know, just like and Tim told me this because I was like, you know, I wondered why in those channel swings like that they would be out here in this weird area. But a lot of times it's because that current comes down and it keeps the sediment washed off and washed into the real hard turn of that channel swing. So right here, there's always a hard spot. You know, bass like a hard bottom. So now, the other way you can tell, and a great way that you can tell, is a Carolina rig. I hate the old ball and chain, but I'm going to tell you right now, an old ball and chain will tell you a lot about bottom content. A jig will tell you a lot about bottom content. Something that I've actually replaced. I don't use the ball and chain as much, and I use the biffle bug sort of setup with the swing head, really heavy. That's the key. You know, and a lot of times you can throw out there and you can drag around and get the bottom content and you can tell how fast it falls, and that's your contours. You know, so if you don't have a sonar, you know, and you don't have lake maps, that's how you do it. And it's just time. It's time on the water. You know, that's sort of it. So fish them swimsuits. That's funny. I know you mean swim baits. The key about swim baits, guys, and I tell everybody this: pay attention to my reel speeds. They'll get faster during the summer, but when the bite gets tough, slow down. If you think you're going slow, go slower. If you think you're going slow, then slow down even more. I watch the birds a lot. Yeah, Carolina rig. Listen, I'm going to be the first to tell you. I stopped lying to myself years ago when I used to say, oh man, they just ain't biting. That's a lie. Fishing tournaments will teach you they're biting. They're biting somewhere for somebody. Just learn to be that somebody. That's I'm not always that somebody, and but I sure do try. And that's all you can really do, you know. Yeah, autocorrect. So, guys, let's talk. What do you think about the giveaway? I do want to give some shout outs to these companies. I don't have a list of them in front of me, and I know I'm going to miss some people, but I was amazed. You know, a lot of these companies I don't really have a relationship with. I've just kind of met them, done some interviews with them back when I was doing some stuff. As my wife said, Mariah Rogers there, or Marari Rogers, and yes, honey, you are my ball and chain. For 23 years, I've drug your ass around. So, oh, happily though, happily drug you around. How do I fish shallow, clear water? How cool? Tell me how cool. How hot does it get, John? How hot does it get during the summer? Give me this. Give me the hot during the summer, and then how cool. BA, I better win. Well, but I'll tell you what. Anyway, so while I'm waiting for John to answer that. The giveaway, I do want to give a shout out, guys. Y'all please go out and check these companies out. The ones that contributed that I'm actually partnered with, of course, Major League Lures, Ledgehead, and Opticast. The rest of these companies are just guys that I know, and these aren't big companies. I am partnered with Connect Scale, but Connect Scale, I know him. He's from Abington, which is just over the hill from me. So all these guys are guys that I know and I have a personal relationship with, and just love fishing, and I love their products. I've used their products for well before ever kind of jumping in and helping them out. I would have promoted their products without them, without you know ever being part of their teams, because I use them. But some of the companies that I'm not affiliated with, but are guys that are local guys to me, who make great products that are in my boat always, and that's Ledge Hog, Bass Munitions. He's an awesome dude. Let's see, Izzle Baits. I just met him on Instagram a little while back, so you guys give him some love. John, I want to make sure I don't miss your reply to that. Let's see, who else? Primary Tackle. They're not local, but man, I met those guys at some of the shows that I did with Ledgehead. And I mean, you talk about some anglers down in the Memphis area, down in around gosh, I can't remember the name of that town, but anyway, man, they fish a lot on Kentucky Lake and stuff like that. Man, they do some really cool stuff. So anyway, if I forgot anybody, I'm so sorry. I don't have a list here in front of me, but guys, make sure you go out and give these people some love, because they didn't have to donate any of this. And when they went above and beyond, I was stunned, because I wasn't asking for all that. I just said, hey, can you? That's the reason I asked so many companies, because I didn't figure there'd be that many, able to throw in. So it was really cool. And good luck to all of you for entering. Yeah, Anthony, man, I love Cherokee. I consider Cherokee I consider it one of my home lakes. I see you and TN talking about it. I do actually consider Cherokee one of my home lakes. I actually used to fish it a lot, a whole lot. And Cherokee is one of those lakes, it giveth and it taketh away. Pro buoys, Randy, they have saved me a lot of money. But Cherokee is one of those lakes that it's great one day and it's awful the next. It's one of those lakes that I have gone down and just waylaid some fish. And it's a lake that, believe it or not, they don't get real deep on during the summertime. They don't get real deep at all. I love Cherokee. South Holston is another lake. Those are what I consider my two home lakes, other than that small Lake P, and it's just because it's a little closer. The Demeke rig. I'm going to do some Demeke stuff this year too, TN. So maybe we should hook up and do something together, man. I'm going to tell you right now, Cherokee is good to Demeke rig on, but South Holston is where it was created. And you can go down to Cherokee and you can catch some nice 3-pounders. You'll catch a bunch, but you come up to South Holston and, man, they're a little harder to find, but when you find them, you better hang on, because they're big up there. They're from Somerset. Yeah, I'm telling you, Cherokee is a lake that I do plan on fishing a lot more of. But the thing about it is the Tennessee lakes get so tough during the summer that pretty much you almost have to fish them at night. So, that's why I tend to move toward the Virginia lakes. They're a little higher up. They stay a little cooler most of the time. And so, they're clear, and the bass are they group up a little more, and they're a little easier to find, I think. So that's why I kind of check that out. Yeah, my email address is on my about page. It's just bassgeek.biteme at gmail.com. But I live on Cumberland. Yes, I've not fished Cumberland. I want to get out there, though. That's an awesome lake, and it's not too awful far away from me. I fished Del Holla which is, part of it is in Kentucky last year. So I caught my first Dale Hollow smallie last year. I think that was pretty cool. I'd really like to go back and fish Dale Hollow some too. But guys, we are at the 9:04 mark. So any questions? We're going to go about another 10 minutes. We'll go to 9:15. So any questions that I missed, anything you want me to do, want me to look at, and like you guys, have I ever fished Lake Erie? No, I'd love to. Yeah, well, they fished it. FLW, Jared, they fished it the last, has it just been 1 year or 2 years? So my buddy Tim, the Ledgehead guy, we've known each other for like 15 years. But he fished the BFLs on it. So guys, I will tell you this, and I don't want to get you excited and then lie to you. But if something does happen and I decide not to fish a full-on tournament trail next year, I'm going to put together sort of a maybe it's 1 week, maybe 2 weeks out of the year. Yes, listen, Megabass stuff, I actually love it. It's really good stuff. I love their jerk baits. And I'm always looking, they're so expensive. So I'm always looking for, a cheaper version of them. But they are good. Their weight system is pretty awesome. You live 10 minutes from Lake Ontario and 20 minutes from Lake Erie. I was totally wrong. I was thinking you were in a completely different place. I was thinking you were in West Virginia. I don't know why I was thinking that. Yeah, the blanks. Yeah. So yes. The blanks, because they've sold their molds. Megabass has. So that's why you can find a lot of them. Now here's the kicker: the weight transfer system is not the same, and that's the only difference between the knockoffs and the true Megabass. Chris in Kansas, good night. Thank you very much for stopping by. Near Buffalo. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll come up there. We'll go fish Lake Erie, but I'm getting some buffalo wings. I love me some wings. But one of the things I'd like to do maybe next year, if I don't fish tournaments, and I am kind of leaning not toward fishing a tournament trail next year, is just so I can get ready to go either as a boater or maybe fish the opens the year after. Brother, good TK. I hope dinner's still hot, and have a good night. But what I'd like to do is maybe do some sort of East Coast thing. So maybe one week, because I'm lucky enough, I actually get 7 days off every 5 weeks, the way my job works, because I work a swing shift. So I'd like to do maybe an East Coast swing to the south. So maybe hit North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, and then maybe do one later in the year to the north. And this is going to depend on you guys. If I do this, I want to come out and fish with you guys. So I don't care if we're pond fishing. I don't care if we're trout fishing. I don't care what kind of fishing we're doing. If I do this, I may need some help, with some sleeping arrangements. If you just got a dog house or whatever, or you just got a driveway I can pull into so that nobody robs me, we might do this. So I may do that. I'm not going to bring my boat with me. I'm not going to lie to you. That's a lot going on there. But yeah, I'd kind of like to do that, and that's up in the air. I've still got a lot to think about, so don't put any serious thought in that. Yeah, those big steelhead you catch, I'd love to come up there and fish for those. I've never caught anything like that. That'd be awesome. Anthony, I don't fish any local clubs. I absolutely recommend local clubs. I think it's a great place to get started. I tell everybody my opinion on local clubs. I think you need to fish a club, especially if you're starting as a co-angler, and a draw club, not a team club, unless you just are, friends with a stud angler, just a stick. Definitely do that. But, you know, uh, I don't fish clubs, and the reason I don't fish clubs is because of my schedule. Most clubs around me, they fish twice the tournaments that the BFLs do. And so, even if I'm paying, 50, 45, $50 per entry fee, the cost kind of weighs out about the same as fishing the 5 BFL tournaments. So, but I can't, it's way harder for me to get like 10 weekends out of the year off as opposed to, 5 for the BFLs. Uh, and the practice time, I don't like to just go out. To me, guys that don't go out and practice before the tournament, that's just gambling. If you want to gamble, go to the casino and at least learn how to play blackjack or poker, and at least you're going to know the odds of each hand you have. Fishing, you're not going to know the odds, but at least by going out and practicing, you're going to up the odds into your favor. So even if you have horrible practices, you're going to know where not and what not to fish. So my favorite deep jerk bait. Deep jerk baits, most of the time I'm fishing in the wintertime. And I'll fish them around anything from like deep laydowns, like, if you've got a creek channel swing, a laydown that's around there, I'll fish them around that. And I don't know what you consider deep, but when the Rapalas, oh gosh, not the shad, I can't remember the name of it. There's some videos from last year during the fall that I throw on. But anyway, Rapala and or Rapala, however you want to say it. Them, and I'll tell you, probably my favorite jerk bait of all time is the good old Smithwick suspended rogue. And they make some deeper versions of those now. And I'm not too big on those. But generally, around rocks, rip wrap, if it's in deeper areas, I'll throw it around there. My lakes are really kind of odd compared to a lot of people's because they're so, they're such a highland reservoir, such steep banks. I need to check out the whitebird and the six stick. I was actually just talking about maybe doing some reviews of their stuff. I don't know. I will tell you this. I found a guy the other day who was doing, guys, and I don't remember his YouTube channel, but I will say, yeah, the Stacy is awesome, Casey. Thank you, Taylor. Thank you. I will. We need to go fishing, Taylor. But like, gosh, I hate to do this, but this guy, and he shows it. Basically, they're cookie cutter reels. The Cast King, some of the Cast Kings, the Whitebird, they're all actually made in the same factory. They're call order reels. Now the rods may be different, but basically all they do is call up these Chinese companies and click what boxes they want for what things they want, and they order 5,000 reels, and then they sell them under their brand name. So that's not me. This is a guy. I wished I could remember his YouTube channel name, but it was pretty interesting. I mean, he broke these down and actually swapped parts, and I think he's actually doing a giveaway of the Frankenstein reels, the 3 different reels. Like one is a whitebird, one is a cast king, and I don't even remember what the third was. So it's kind of weird. Hey, that's a big move up, Chris. Good luck, brother. Good luck. You'll learn a lot, man. You'll learn a lot. Just remember, as a co-angler, yes, be competitive, but even from the guys that that ain't that great, you're going to learn something. You'll learn what not to do. Be gracious, be nice, be there to help them. And if you do, they'll teach and give you anything. Don't be negative. People, that's one thing I can say. You can be critical without being negative. Don't be negative, man. Don't be a glass half empty person. Be a glass half full, because a positive mindset will bring positive things to you. I honestly believe that. Be positive, get positive. It's just what it has to be. And T and Basson, if you're still on here, there's no way I'm getting a kayak, man. I'll be honest with you. Here's my feeling, and y'all can hate on me all you want. Here's my feelings about a kayak. Why would I get a kayak when I can go out and get a small bass boat, or not a small bass boat, but one of those, I don't even know what they are, sun dolphin. I don't even know. They're like little pontoon things. There's a guy on YouTube that fishes them all the time. YouTube fishing videos, and you can get that for cheaper than you can get a kayak. And I can actually sit in a chair that swivels, and it's got a back, and I can put all kinds of rods and reels and an electric motor and a depth finder, and I ain't gonna get wet. Yes, I'm lazy. I will be the first to admit it. I can cast farther because I'm setting up. But yeah, guys, be positive. And here it is, 16 after. I've done went on too long. Again, always love you guys, love you guys, love you guys. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for hanging out with me. If you're ever down this way, welcome to come out, go with me on and off the East Tennessee lakes. Have a good time. Now, Anthony, what do you call in East Tennessee? Because I'm like Upper East Tennessee, like Cherokee, South Host, and Watauga, Boone, Patrick Henry. Watauga's a little far, but Douglas. Them's my lakes right there. So, but anyway, yes, we do need to go fishing. Beard Outdoors. Yeah. But, I don't fault you guys, man. Hey, listen, y'all want to get out there and paddle y'all's asses around and get exercise? No. I don't know. That's another thing, man. I'm going to paddle that. If I'm getting one with some sort of foot drive, because, man, y'all seen me on a boat in the last video. I almost fell out of that sucker just by, having too much stuff in the passenger side seat. I'd fall out of a kayak. I'd be drowning. I'd get tangled up, get hooks all in me. No. Pedal drive, yeah. But anyway, man, I love you guys. Y'all are great. I hope you love the giveaway. I wished everybody could win. But I got to get out of here. I got to go talk to my wife, and I got to get up and get started on putting my carpet and stuff in the boat, so y'all won't look at my boat on my videos anymore and go, man, that is one ratty ass boat he's got. So hopefully, I've never done this before, so let's hope I do it right, because I can't afford to buy more carpet. So, all right, guys, peace out. Trolling motor on a canoe. I wished you had video of that. All right, I'm shutting up. I'm gone. Y'all be good. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for hanging out. You know what I always say, you guys rock. Good night to everyone. Let's do this again soon. See ya. All right, let me figure out how to, there we go. The stop broadcast button. That's what you push.